In this video after close trade Wednesday 27th of June 2012, try and make this a quick video. Didn't actually trade today. The reason for that was coming into this European summit I thought it'd be really quiet. We're kind of being driven by news announcements kind of lately. Situation I hate, but that's the facts. And although it was relatively quiet there, we had a little bit of range. I felt it looked a little bit kind of gamed up. We ended up with amateur up bar back up kind of testing here, really kind of closing this gap. Yesterday we kind of closed the gap a little bit. We're kind of bouncing off the 135-minute chart on Monday. I was talking about the very low average trade size down at these bottoms ended up being a Rambo pattern. There was also no supply pattern here. We kind of bounced off this kind of bullish divergence, so we're heading back up to this cyclical cross on the 135-minute chart. So that's going to kind of go off kind of Thursday, Friday, so we'll wait to see for that. I think this is a question of kind of buying the rumor, selling the news when it kind of comes out. I think this is going to be a test back down, so the break of today's low will be a kind of a critical level. So I think all we're doing is just pushing back up under this lip and then coming back down. Just looking at the longer time frame tip bar charts, 40,500 tip bar chart, it just felt as if it was kind of gamed up today. It was interesting, although it's a fairly lackluster type day. The average trade size during the day on the 40,500 tip bar chart was very big. And you look at where previously the professionals sold down this market, like coming through the support level, falling through the ice, all these professionals selling short that break, and then we come back up to test that level. And there we go again, professionals kind of taking the opportunity to get short into that next move. And now we're coming back up to kind of the bottom of that type of range. And my assumption would be that they're all kind of just getting positioned. Very weak buying, all these bearish divergence signals really close to the zero line, just ready to kind of roll over. 13,500 tip bar chart. Again, blue professional bars at the highs there, very weak buying going on. And if you look at the 4,500, today's activity gives us our pullback to end of trend, exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, rolling over again, blue professional bars kind of at the end of the day. Had this initial kind of selling short kind of area here, blue professional bars kind of pick it up. This is like getting positioned to this into this move a little bit early, to kind of game it back up again, use the opportunity to kind of run some stops and also kind of get positioned for shorts. So we're going through pullback to end of trend, second cyclical turn after end of trend. We've got this little kind of consolidation move kind of going on here. So breaks below 2220 kind of or cyclical kind of support areas that get kind of put in here on this relatively high time frame would be good kind of trend moves on the way down. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in the next day or two. Just on the other kind of charts, that the this is the risk-off charts, bonds, 30-year bonds here. I mean, if we do have a huge sell-off, we'd expect the rates to decline and bonds to go up. The money kind of goes into safer plays. I just find this really interesting that the last moves up on these daily charts, amateur up bars here. All of these amateur up bars, we've got pullback to end of trend to make. Now we've had all of this exhaustion buying. It's almost like parabolic blow off, blue professional bars into these highs, and now we're testing back up with amateur up bars. We've got to make pullback to end of trend, when this cyclical kind of resistance kind of goes off. I don't know what to say. I mean, normally that's a kind of a classic test and then we kind of roll over, but the money's got to go somewhere, and because I've got this kind of bearish view, I'm just looking at that, just bearing that in mind kind of going forward, that maybe I'm wrong about us kind of with a huge sell-off. So just bearing it in mind that those are amateur up bars into that, and that's the same on the 10-year and the 5-year. So when we get that pullback to end of trend, but the money's got to go somewhere if we have this sell-off. So dollar index has continued to kind of rally with today's activity. The euro's kind of still selling off, so you can see we just kind of had a little bit of a pause, I think, in these risk-on markets. As crude, just the last couple of days, we've gone nowhere basically on crude. It's not like a huge kind of we're in an uptrend, let's jump on board this thing. No, it's just kind of settling where it is. Aussie dollar kind of a little bit of a rise back up, very weak buying though. If you just look at the kind of the flip back up and better momentum, not a lot kind of going on there. Euros. This is the euro kind of continuing this decline here. This bullish divergence signal was right on the zero line, so I usually look for something that's kind of somewhere midway between this point and the exhaustion point for a flush type signals. We're coming back to that support. The worry is, well, my expectation is we'll break through this kind of previous low and then kind of keep on going. Gold really kind of done nothing. Yeah, we had a little bit of a blip up on, I think, Friday kind of activity, but it's gone kind of nowhere. On the silver chart, you can see that activity. I think it was on the Friday, was a professional up bar, and we've not had continuation. They've just used that as an opportunity. If we break the lows of that blue professional bar, that was professionals selling into that kind of move up. So just wait for that. Just waiting for that kind of little bit of consolidation pattern between the highs and lows of that blue professional bar to kind of show the signals. Now here's copper. I was saying copper, it's like potentially a double bottom kind of going on here, but the activity on copper has actually been amateur up bar. Today's activity was amateur down bar the day before, amateur up bar today. So I still think we're in a downtrend here below cyclical resistance support here. Support becomes resistance. We're kind of rolling on down. So yes, that's kind of the risk on chart. So that's what I'm seeing. I think this is the most important one for me in terms of the higher time frame tip bar charts, the 40,500 tip bar chart and the 135-minute chart. So when those start to kind of roll over, then I'll be interested to see where that kind of plays out. I still think this has just been a question of buy the rumor, sell the news. So it's just a question of what that news event is if it's kind of Germany and Merkel kind of coming out with no to European bonds, and everybody's saying that's the only solution kind of left, then the euro's toast. But anyway, let's see what happens. I hope you had a good day's trading, and I'm just kind of picking my trades at the moment. Have a good week so far, so not rushing into to markets that don't have a lot of activity, so just waiting for those news events to kind of come out.